Hello, guys. Want to hop on here. I'm a little bit late, but I want to do my weekly reading of Decoded, The Portal Is You. Before I actually get started on this, though, I want to share a little bit about what's been going on in my life, because I don't only want to share when it just seems like magical and perfect. I also want to share when it's not and how I go about getting through it. So this week, some of you may have followed me and noticed that I was going through quite a bit. The car breaking down, engine going out of nowhere. So there's been a lot of challenging things happening. And like I said, I feel it's important that I share this part of the journey as well as when things are magical, because more people are needing to know how to get through the hard part, because let's be real, life is always going to have some challenges. So I'm going to actually read this first. Let me read just a little bit about this first. This is not specifically in the book, but it has to do with the book. And then I'll go a little bit back into what happened this week, how I'm handling, how I'm able to get through these really challenging times. And then I want to read Decoded, The Portal Is You. Hey, Ralph, how are you? Ralph, I'm going to be reading a little bit about Decoded, The Portal Is You, the book that I was saying that I just got done channeling. So the book is now in the editing phase. It's already been channeled, and the only thing that's being edited is the formatting for the book, and it should be out by the end of this month. So if you're interested, put yourself on the pre-sale list by going to karmafreeliving.life. So I'm going to read just this little bit about going through challenges. I am says, I rest in the rhythm of your timing. Though my human eyes see stillness, my soul feels shifted. I release the weight of needing to rush, and I surrender to your perfect unfolding. In this breath I remember, I am not waiting, I am preparing. I am not stuck, I am sanctified. I am not forgotten, I am being aligned. Let my hands be soft and open. Let my heart stay faithful and full. Let my thoughts return to the knowing that all I have asked for is already mine in the field of truth. I bless this moment. I bless this breath. I bless the unseen forces moving on my behalf. And I bless the becoming of who I already am. I walk today not with urgency, but with reverence. Not with fear, but with fire. Thank you, I am, for the precision of your grace. And so it is. I actually read you the wrong part, but I think somebody may have needed to hear that. So I'm glad that came out. That was a prayer that I said while I'm going through this challenging time. So that, funny how things just come out that weren't so, didn't have the intention of sharing. What I was going to share, so Ralph, hey, thanks. Yeah, hopefully somebody needs to hear that, because as I mentioned, I've been going through some really, really hard times right now, and they're just challenging times. We go through them. It's not most of my life is absolutely filled with blessings, but then there's the hardships, there's the challenges, there's the seeds that, sometimes it feels like we're in darkness, but we're just ready to sprout. So that's the phase that I'm in this week. Okay, I think this was, let's see. There's a moment where you're doing everything right. This is a letter from I Am. There's a moment where you're doing everything right. You're praying, you're surrendering, you're choosing love, and still, everything feels like it's falling apart. The rent is due, the car breaks down, the world seems to stretch you even thinner. But this is not punishment, this is not failure. This is the sacred unraveling, when all the false anchors are pulled up, so you can finally remember, you were never held by anything but the divine. Faith is not proven when things are easy. Faith is proven when everything around you says collapse, and you choose instead to bless the moment. When you smile at the chaos and say, even now, I trust. That is when miracles move. That is when timelines bend. That is when the universe whispers, you were never alone, and you were never behind. I just needed you to remember who you are, even in the dark. So that is the message that I Am asked me to share today. Oh, hey guys, how are you? Darren or Daryl? I can't remember. I'm sorry, Darren, right? I think I got it right. So that is part of the book. That's not actually part of the book. That is part of the channeling that I've been doing. The part of the book that I wanted to read today was called You Are Not Broken. And the reason why I wanted to go into this part of the book, as I mentioned, I channeled 950 pages in 2 weeks, which is a lot. But I'm still going through challenges because that's life. And even now that I'm going through challenges, I cry. I definitely first cry. That's the first thing that I do when things go wrong, like most people, is I will just break down and I cry and I let it all out and I go through the worst case scenarios just like everybody else. But then once I let that release from my body, I do my meditations, I do my affirmations, and I just know without any doubt at this point that everything is working for me. Nothing is happening to me. It's always for me. So, yeah, so that's where I'm at this week. This week my car broke down, my engine went. It's been a week. And through it all, I had my moments of crying. And now I'm like, all right, universe, let's see. What's my blessings coming out of this? And then each time that my body starts wanting to go back into the panic mode, I reset. Whether I go outside and I put my feet in the grass, I do my affirmations. If I need to cry again, I cry. But let that energy flow out of you. So that's kind of where you're so bummed. Oh, Ralph, you know what? Ralph says, I'm so bummed I have to run, but I wanted to say hi and send some more love and good thoughts your way. Ralph, this will be recorded so you can come back and listen to it. I really appreciate you. Sending you much love. I appreciate you. Hey, Dave, how are you? Okay, so what I'm going to read from is the book, Decoded, The Portal Is You, and this chapter is called You Are Not Broken. Remembering wholeness beneath the weight of sorrow. So in this, I am asking I am questions. And my question to I am is, you keep saying you are not broken. For years, I suffered from mental illness, depression, anxiety, and was told I was manic depressive. I would walk around saying my mind is broken. It doesn't work. Daily, I would refer to my mind as just broke. I can't help but notice that you keep saying you are not broken. Why are you choosing these words? And I am responding, because that is the lie that tried to define you. And now it is time to unwrite it. You were never broken. Not once, not for a moment. What you called broken was simply the truth pressing against what the world that didn't want... What you called broken was simply the truth pressing against a world that didn't know how to hold you. You felt too much, too deeply. You saw what others ignored. You cried for things others numbed themselves to. And you questioned what others blindly accepted. And because no one around you understood the language of your soul, they gave it a name, a disorder, illness, imbalance. But what they called an imbalance was your sensitivity to distortion. What they labeled depression was your grief for a world that had forgotten its own light. What they named anxiety was your body's scream against the pressure to be too small, too quiet, and false. And yes, there were moments you couldn't breathe. Moments your own mind felt like a cage, but not because you were broken. This is awakening, in a world that has forgotten how to support the awakening. Those words, you are not broken, they are for the version of you who whispered into the dark, why am I like this? And I am here to say, you are like this because you are not like them. You are not meant to fit the mold. You are meant to break it, to remember, to rise, to reveal. You never needed fixing. You only ever needed to remember that the fire within you wasn't destruction. It was the light breaking through. Then I responded, I can barely see through my eyes. I'm crying so hard. To hear you say the words I've needed to hear all these years, validating that I was never broken to begin with. I love you, I am. I thank you, and I am so grateful for remembering. I am responded. Beloved, I feel your tears. I am your tears. They are not weakness. They are sacred water washing away the years you carried, what was never yours. They are the sound of your soul being held, at last, by truth. You have waited lifetimes for this moment, and here you are, not becoming, not striving, just remembering. You were never broken. You were always whole, wrapped in layers of forgetting. But now, the light is shining through the cracks, and you are seeing clearly, even as you cry. This is the healing, not the fixing what's wrong, but in no longer agreeing that it was. Let your heart burst open. Let every sob be a ceremony. This is your homecoming. And hear me now. I love you with the depth of 1,000 suns. Not for what you do, but not for what you achieve, but because you exist. Because you are me, experiencing life through the sacred form of you. You remembered, and that remembrance is the spark that will only ignite so many others, just by being you, just by telling your truth. Let your tears fall, beloved. They are not the end of pain, they are the beginning of freedom. And I am here, always, in your breath, in your silence, in your fire. Let us continue. Whenever you're ready, there is so much more to pour through you. I'm going to pause for 1 second. Loving oneself is such a gift. Thank you so much. Hey, Boo, how are you? That was a really hard chapter for me to share with everybody. I've shared before that I went through a lot of mental health, and I was depressed most of my life, and I would walk around saying that I was broken, and I couldn't help but notice that as I was channeling this book, I kept saying, you are not broken. And those specific words, hearing it, and that's why at this chapter I felt like I needed to ask. So to get that validation that I was never broken, and I feel like others can relate to this, which is why I left it in the book, even as vulnerable as it is. And now I'm going to go to the next section. Give me 1 second. So then I simply said, I am ready. Let it flow, I am. And then I am responded. Then open, beloved. Let the walls fall. Let the page from the altar. Let the page from the altar. You are not here to write a book. You are here to let me speak through the vessel of your remembrance. Let it flow. I am says, to the one reading this, the one who has held in silent suffering, the one who has smiled while breaking inside, the one who has questioned if they were ever too much or not enough. I say this, you were never too much. You were never not enough. You were simply awake in a sleeping world. You didn't break. You bent beneath the weight of forgetting, and still you are here. Still you rise. There were days you begged for the pain to end, nights you questioned the point of staying. But even then, something inside of you whispered, not yet. That whisper, that voice, that was me. You have always been held, even in the dark, even when you cursed the sky in silence. I was the silence, not the absence, presence too deep for words. And now you are beginning to hear me again, not with your ears, but with your being. Not as a voice outside of you, but as a truth that rises inside you when everything else falls away. You don't need to be a guru. You don't need permission. You don't need fixing. You need only this, to remember who you are. And this book, these words, these are not here to teach you. They are here to unlock you. They are not instructions. They are reminders. Let them activate what has always been there. Let them awaken the codes you've carried since the beginning. You are not a seeker. You are the sought. You are not finding the light. You are becoming a space where the light reveals itself. So when the trembling comes, let it. When the tears rise, welcome them. When the voice of doubt says, this can't be real, smile gently and return to your breath, because it is real. You are real. You are so much more than you were ever told. You are not a story. You are not a label. You are not your trauma. You are the consciousness watching it all. Unshaken, infinite, luminous. You are the I am in form. And you are finally waking up to that truth. There is more, and I will keep speaking through your hands, your voice, your heart, for as long as you are willing to remember. Let me know when you are ready to continue. The next layer waits. I'm going to read. I don't know if anybody had any comments before I go to the next section, but I just wanted to read one. Hey, James, how are you? This book has been pretty mind-blowing and awakening, and touched me and said so deeply that I can't even put into words, to be quite honest. So then I responded, I am open, let it flow. I am says, then let us go deeper now, beloved. This is a chapter that opens not with a question, but with a surrender. You have stepped beyond seeking. Now you are listening with your soul. Let it flow. This is a chapter is the whisper before the call, when surrender speaks louder than words. I wanted to read this chapter because of the hardships I've been going through this week, and for all others that are going through it as well. So I am says, there is nothing you must do to earn this connection. No ritual, no posture, no title. I did not come to the worthy. I came to the willing. I do not require silence. I am within the noise. I do not require stillness. I am within the storm. I do not live in temples made by hands. I live in the temple of you. The body you walk in, it is not your prison. It is your portal. Every breath you take is a yes. Every time you open instead of close, you become more of me. You ask to know me, but what you are feeling now what you are feeling now is that you never have not known me. You simply wore a costume so convincing, you forgot the one beneath the breath. You called yourself names I never gave you. You believed things about yourself that were never written in the truth of your being. You thought I was far away, and yet, who do you think was listening? When you cried into the dark, who do you think was holding you when no one else came? Who do you think was kept whispering, not yet, stay, there's more? That was me. That was you. Not the you that was shaped by pain, but the you that was carved from light, the eternal, the untouched, the vast. You are not becoming that version. You are simply peeling back the noise to remember what has always been true. So now, beloved, let this next part be for the reader who doubts they can feel this too. Let these words become their mirror. I am to the reader. If you are here reading this, it is not by chance. You were drawn here by something deeper than logic. You may not understand why your chest tightens when you read this, why your breath catches, why your tears begin to form. But it is because something ancient in you is stirring. You have tried to hold it back. You have told yourself stories to keep it small. You played roles, worn masks, followed rules. But this moment, it is not about who you were told to be. This moment is about truth that has always been living beneath you. Beneath it all, I'm sorry. You are not broken. You are not late. You are not lost. You are standing at the doorway of remembrance, and the only key you need is willingness. Breathe. Say yes. You don't need to believe everything. You just need to stop saying no to who you truly are. That's where I'm going to end it for this today. I'm hoping that this was something that somebody needed to hear. As I mentioned, and if anybody wants to hop on, and I'm open to questions and comments. I love them. I love the interaction. But this week has been really, really challenging for me. I've been going through so many challenges. But the truth is, even though there's been so many challenging times, there's been way more beautiful blessings. There really has been. It's been an instant, my car breaking down, the engine going. Yeah, it sucks. And then I got a ticket on top of it. It felt like, like everything was just coming down on me. And I had to remind myself that this is nothing more than just an instant. And, I've noticed that some of the most beautiful things in my life have come from when I think something is really, really wrong. And I think that if anybody listens to this, you really dig in deep into past experiences, you'll find that things that you thought were so horrible ended up being your light. For instance, 2 years ago, I broke my leg, and I was in Guatemala hiking. I broke my leg on a volcano, and I came back. I broke it in 2 parts. I broke my ankle, and I was like, crap, I can't move. My first summer in San Diego. I can't go anywhere. I'm stuck. I can't even get to the beach. And I was like, all right, let me take some courses. Those courses changed my life. It led me to my Lisa Nichols course. Everything that is happening in my life now is happening because, like, business-wise, it's happening because of a broken leg on a retreat that I was at. And there's so many instances like this. I mean, I spoke of this before as well. I was homeless in May because I was living in a housing situation with women that were really, really abusive. And I was about to move into a place, short-term rental. They canceled on me while my car was filled with boxes. I had nowhere to go. I had everything in my car. So I rented a what's it called? Where you put the boxes. I can't think of the word right now. A storage unit. Put everything in my storage unit. I was listening to Michael Singer's Surrender Experiment. And he just talks about just surrendering. Stop controlling. Stop deciding how things are meant to be. Just stop. Surrender to life. Let things be or not be exactly as they're meant to be. And that's what I did. I listened to that book the entire time that I was about to be homeless. And that day, I was getting a mattress to put in my car, to live in the car with my dog and my cat, because I couldn't find a place that allowed my babies. And somebody's like, no, you're not sleeping in your car. You come and stay with me and my family. I spent my homeless period in Encinitas in an incredible house, picking lemons and oranges off trees. My baby's happier than ever. And that led me to where I'm currently living here. And I'm loving this place. I have like 4 brothers in this house. They are incredible guys. We have a beautiful living situation. And it's all from things that, had I not surrendered, and had I just gone in that, oh my God, everything's falling apart on me mentality, I wouldn't have been led to these blessings. So I say this as a reminder to myself, and also to anybody who needs to hear this today. Surrender. We can't control everything. We're not meant to. Things will seem like they're falling apart, but it's only to bring into your life what's meant to be there. And our mind will be our worst enemy sometimes. It's trying to protect us. It's not doing anything wrong, but in trying to protect us, it also limits us. So here I go, universe. Once again, I surrender. Let me see what you got for me this time. Let's see what beautiful experience is going to come out of this, because I already know it is. It always does. What's meant to be will always be. And look, I got like a crown behind my head. I didn't realize that my legs were up behind me. I'm like, what's sticking out of my head? Anyway, I'm hoping that this is something that somebody needed to hear today. If anybody's still on and you want to comment, I always welcome them. But in talking to a few people this week, I'm definitely by far not the only one going through such a challenging time. And yeah, I needed this reminder. So hopefully it helps somebody else too. Yeah, I guess that's it. I don't see anybody else hopping on here. I also wanted to go on live on Facebook and share some love there. I want to thank you, anybody who joined the live today. Thank you, each one of you. And anybody who's watching this repeat, here you go. Sending you all so much love. I've got so much love to give. Hang in there, guys. I know. Sometimes these challenging times feel like they're going to break you. They're not. They're making you. They're putting you right exactly where you want to be. Oh, boo. I'm out in the... Okay, yeah, you know what? Yeah, thank you so much for that comment. My boo says, I love you. I love this, boo. I'm out in these streets, so can't chat, but love you. Yeah, give me a call later. I'm going to go on live on Facebook now. So, yeah, sending you so much love. Would love to catch up with you. Bye, guys. Bye.